Joey Savage here at Nerd Thug Radio. We just finished up watching Summer of Champions 4 at Reality of Wrestling. I'm joined by our friend Brock Baker that you guys caught last week on the show. Brock, you guys weren't involved in any kind of match here today, but you did do some commentary. How does that feel to be the biggest event of the year and not be on the card?
Initially I was a little upset, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? We've already beat two of these teams. The other two teams, I want them one-on-one. I want to go up against those two teams face-to-face, prove to everyone that we can beat anyone and everyone at any moment. And, now we got the Alpha unit. They won tonight, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them soon.
So you guys issued a challenge before the start of the match. No matter who won the titles, you wanted them next. What's next for you and Van?
No. We don't want them, okay? We demand them. And that match will happen at our next show. You do not want to miss the September show.
So you guys are kind of fortunate. You didn't have to go out there in a four-way match. If things play out right, you're just going to get a one-on-one shot for the title. Is that easier to go one-on-one, or would you rather been in there?
Again, we're not getting anything. We're demanding it. Okay, plain and simple. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
You guys heard it right there. Brock and Van demand a tag team shot.
Such a great interview there.
Really is. He cuts a promo.
Right.
It's
so much fun to listen to.
It's too bad he's not a foot taller and 80 pounds heavier, right? He'd be the guy.
So you can catch Reality of Wrestling.
Sorry, Brock. Just say.
That segment or that episode just is on their YouTube channel. It's 2 or 3 great matches. The one with Ryan and the one of the four-way tag match that Brock was talking about.
That was a good match, by the way.
Yeah, it was good. But it was great because, real quick about wrestling, then we'll jump out to something even funnier. I was interviewing him.
Wrestling's not funny. It's real.
I know. It's real stuff. I love wrestling, though. But as I was interviewing him, he didn't say, because we've had him in here.
Right.
And he's just been Brock Baker.
Right.
And just the man, just himself, our friend.
The myth, the
our
legend.
Chum. Yeah. And so then we didn't talk about, hey, you going to do this in character, or are you just going to be my friend that I talk to every day? And so when I said that, he's like, no, wait a minute. And he went into character. I was like, okay, cool. So then I just asked him a few more questions to make him stay in character. I felt like I really accomplished something there.
You really, what do they call it? K-fob. You really stayed K-fob right?
I stayed K-fob there for sure.
What does that stand for? What do they call it? What is it? I don't know that word. Like wrestling terminology, they have like carnival terminology that's kind of carried with it faces and heels and things like that. K-fob is one of the ones I don't understand.
So like we said, Reality of Wrestling is now on the Fight app. Hopefully you watched it over the weekend if you're into wrestling.
That's a really interesting transition for them. I'm curious to see what it does for them.
Right, yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's a mistake or no?
I think it's a weird dynamic because...
They're leaving TV.
Right. So they were on CW, but they were on CW Saturday at midnight. So it wasn't like it was a primetime slot. You had to live in this area to watch it.
Right.
So it was very localized.
Right.
What Fight does is Fight takes them nationwide. Now anybody in the nation, or whoever has the Fight app worldwide, can watch these guys wrestle through the Fight app.
Right.
And we were out of town. We were in Louisiana, so I didn't get to attend the event. I'm going to go to the October one.
Right.
Because in the past, the way they would do it is they would have these big live events, and they would break those down into 4 segments. They would get released in 4 weeks on TV. It would go on TV Saturday, then it would dump on YouTube, their YouTube channel, Sunday.
Right.
And so I would follow it on YouTube, and they've got a lot of YouTube followers because, you can only see it on YouTube. So now you can see it live through the Fight app. So I wonder if it's changing their dynamic of how they book the show, how they record the show, because,
because now they're not gearing for a weekly event. Now they're doing
it live.
They're doing a 3-hour thing, and you can watch the 3-hour thing all month long.
Right, and so you can watch it. So
So it's like they left a better setup on a smaller scale to get I think maybe a harder to digest setup,
right,
but a larger scale.
Right, and
so it's almost like they're completely different choices, right?
And so the fact that I want to see how it goes, because if they do it live, then yeah, cool, you get to watch the wrestling live. But then you're probably not going to get the added backstage promos and all that
stuff.
That
all the TV stuff
stories.
That help. Right.
It helps build stories some.
Right.
Which, when you see some of the bigger, like What Culture Pro Wrestling was a very small thing that started a year and a half ago and now is blown up. And they're on Fight. They're on Twitch. But they get to do the backstage stuff, and it's not necessarily...
Now, do you think that Booker T, with his background with
Maybe
Raw
so.
and his production skills.
If they
do you
do
think
it-
he's going to incorporate the other elements?
Hopefully, if they do it like a pay-per-view,
Right.
with the background stuff in there, awesome.
Right.
I don't know yet. We'll have to see what happens. I didn't get to watch it because we were out of town. So
Right.
hopefully it turns into something great. Like
We
they've got great
love
stuff.
reality wrestling. We want to see them
I
succeed.
love them, and they've got their top wrestlers
Are great.
They're great, and they travel around the United States a bunch of places.
We
So
love Rex Andrews.
Rex Andrews, Gino. Next week,
Gino. Yeah.
Next week we're gonna have a interview where I interviewed Gino. I interviewed my favorite female wrestler, Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
And Delilah Doom. Like we're gonna have.
Oh man, that was a
we'll
good
have
interview.
3 interviews we lined up. That'll be on next week's show because that event will be out. But yeah, they travel all the way up into Virginia and
They're talented.
everywhere
They're
else.
talented.
And so now those people can watch their shows live instead of having to wait to
Right,
cuts.
like yeah, if you're in Virginia, you've never seen him before. Rex Andrews comes in, defends the Texas title. You're like, that guy was interesting. Now you get to see his events.
Right.
That part I do agree with, but I also think that part already existed with the YouTube. So I'm kind of curious about the choice. It's an odd choice because I feel like anytime you leave TV,
Right.
you're potentially making a mistake. So I'm curious to see how the Fight app kind of supports what they do.
Booker T and Charmel.
Oh, they're smart. They're smart.
and Kevin too, who helps with he runs the production. So my thought process is maybe the numbers and the time slot on the CW wasn't
maybe it wasn't
what they were liking.
No,
So
that's
we can
fair.
get the same numbers if we go to Fight and we can do live pay-per-views and we can make it more big stream.
Right. And
So-
you can kind of market it maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
And
We'll
you're
see
not
what-
worried about stuff leaking.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because that's what happens with us. So like
Right.
we go to the event, which was over a month and 2 weeks ago.
Right, and those episodes still haven't aired, so we
Right.
can't use those
So
interviews.
I interviewed like 8 people right after the show, but I have to wait till I don't want to leak anything.
Right, we're
'Cause
trying to be respectful of their show.
Unless you were at the show,
You don't know what happened.
you don't know what happened, and so
Right.
you got to wait the week. So I've got to space my stuff out. That's why the last couple weeks.
I mean, I was there. I know what you did.
Yeah, last couple weeks you've heard different interviews.
Yeah,
but
those were all done. I mean, at this point, a month ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting on them and like got pictures I'm waiting to use and just we'll see what happens though.
Right.
But real quick, we got like 5 minutes left in the show.
You got a story.
I got a story.
This is a crazy story.
So I don't watch a lot of MTV anymore.
It's terrible, so you're not missing much.
I used to in the younger Savage
Although I
days.
did watch a lit Fire reunion, the teen pregnancy mom
Yeah,
reunion episode where
those
they're
get-
like they're throwing curse words on air.
So
I was
that's
like,
the last
"What?"
thing. That's the last thing I used to watch. Like when Jersey Shore ended and it was like Teen Mom 1, Ali Savage. We used to watch it.
Those people became famous.
Sadie Savage was like just born at the time.
Ali was like, I'm a teen mom.
Yeah, I'll do it. And so we're laying in bed trying to go to sleep. Can't really find anything on. I'm tired of watching home improvement shows. And so
Who would have known?
there's an episode of Catfish on. It's like I'm trying to sleep, but I can hear it going, and Ali Savage is watching it, and I can hear what's going on, and all I hear is this guy say,
This is so crazy.
"I've been in a relationship with Katy Perry for 6 years." And I turn over like, what? So there's an episode of Catfish, and it's the first episode of Catfish I've ever seen. So apparently these people, they think they're getting catfished. They reach out to these guys. These guys come in and they do their research and try to figure it out.
Right.
So these guys are sitting there, and this guy is telling them that he has been in an online relationship with the Katy Perry
And he thinks the Katy Perry.
for 6 years. And I was like, he had a ring. He took his great grandmother's like old wedding ring, refurbished it, rebanded it for a wedding ring to give to Katy Perry.
Because he's going to marry her?
I guess he's like, they talked about getting married and having kids together. And so they start asking him some questions. And he's like, well, I've only talked to her once on the phone. It was in Canada. It cost me like $125 in the phone call. I'm calling from Canada, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay.
I almost just vomited on the radio.
It's when he's like, it's when she was on tour in Canada. And then, yeah, she used to send me like unreleased clips of like music that she was working on. Like, oh, okay, well, that's a good point. Like, we can maybe work with that. Turns out this person would just send him like clips from different people's YouTubes, and then they would go to it and it had been taken down, and this guy believed her.
Oh, no.
And I didn't finish the whole episode, but come to find out, it was a chick who was from Canada, but now was living in England, and I'm pretty sure they hopped on a plane and went to England to confront her.
That's like the old budget for that show.
But how can you think you're in a relationship with Katy Perry?
Yeah, like I understand if it's like a other thing, and I've seen some of these where they're actually kind of complicated. Like the other person in the photo is the person catfishing you.
Right.
So I've seen an episode like that because I've caught a few episodes every once in a while because I'm curious about this.
Because you've been catfished before.
I have been, So I don't like Katy Perry though.
Yeah, Katy Perry. Really, bro?
And
she was
like-
married during that time.
Right, she was
And
married to
dating
Russell Brand.
celebrities.
She's dated other celebrities. More importantly than that, though,
I wonder if he felt like a plastic bag
just floating through the wind.
floating through the wind.
So more importantly than that, though, like Katy Perry can make a flight happen.
Right.
Like she can put you on a plane.
yeah.
She can fly you coach to Chicago so you can
Yes.
go backstage and say hi.
Right.
She, you know, like
This guy's out of his mind.
right.
This guy had mental issues, I think.
Yeah, he has to because someone should have been able to tell him convincingly, you're not dating Katy Perry.
And I caught a part where he told his brother, and his brother, I guess he had never told his brother, and his brother like literally wanted to come unglued.
Right.
I was like, oh boy.
Here's the thing, Nico, I love you. But if you ever say something so dumb as you're dating Katy Perry online, but you've never met her or been in the same room as her, I'm going to 5-hand slap you.
Yeah.
No,
Five
that's
hand.
that's
I'll,
reasonable.
I'll 10-hand slap you.
Right.
No, this is perfectly reasonable.
I mean, that's just
Oh,
like,
man.
there's got to be a moment where you could kind of tell someone, listen, you're not thinking. Like,
Right.
listen to yourself. And, like, some of these I get, like, it's a weird thing and they're all poor. But if you literally think you're dating Katy Perry,
Right.
Katy Perry can make it happen.
Right.
She could put you on a plane. You would see her. Like, she dates people. She's walked red carpets.
Right.
That's
So one of the things we like to do at Nerd Thug Radio is we like to get
Katy Perry.
yeah, we like to get listener involvement. So if you've got a catfish story or anything like that, like drop us a line on
Yeah,
Facebook.
hit us on Facebook.
Tell us all about it. Don't forget, you can also hit us up at Facebook or on the website. We're gearing up in a couple months for our Nerd Thug Radio Mario Kart tournament for charity.
Yeah.
So get us that. We should have like a
For the
poster.
Extra Life charity.
We should have some poster PDF file, something up with details soon.
Soonish.
We're getting a jump start on it.
We want to have a lot of people come that supports the Children's Miracle Network.
Right.
We're going to help save children in our community.
We are. And that's going to wrap up episode 74. I'm Joey Savage. My heterosexual life partner,
Corey DLG.
Nico DLG.
is back again. He survived Hurricane Harvey.
That's right. Hashtag talking nerdy to you guys. Same Nerd Thug time. Same Nerd Thug channel.
I wanted to